So, yeah, I'm back. I've decided to remove, the black belt tag in this vid just to, the usual tag I had. Just to see if it attracts more viewers or not. It might not. I'm walking around the middle of an empty suburb, looks like I'm talking to somebody on my phone, even though, I'm not. The only reason I'm filming here is because, well, one, it's outside, and two, there's no one else in the street but me. Anyways, life is, that's really it. There ain't really much to talk about. Fred, usually me and Fred do a monthly meeting. This month it's probably not happening. He's got like tests and he's sick now, you know. I don't think him and I are going to be doing anything more than sending each other reels on Instagram the rest of November. And he'll send one like every 3 days. And like every reel I send, he'll watch after like 3 or 5 days. We've gotten older, we've grown apart. There's not really much to say. We're on different paths, all that, fancy life lesson bullshit. Which is true, obviously. And again, he's also a tired out husk. So am I, but, I was always kind of that way. He's like a balloon that's been deflated. All he does is go to work and go to school and sit around his computer and, when his girlfriend wants him to go out, then he goes out. Otherwise, he just doesn't go anywhere other than, again, work, school, running errands. And I, of course, just go to school and sit on my computer. I go even less places than Fred does, but he has a car and I don't. So there's that difference. I'm not really sure entirely what I want to say, but again, I've probably said this before. We're kind of in a limbo state. There's just enough diversions. There's just enough distractions, enough copes, to keep us all satiated and, I guess, muted and pressed down and all the such. It is really cold. It's getting really cold. I think we're supposed to get a ton of snow this year. At least where I am. Anyways, I'm saying that because my fingers are starting to freeze. I didn't bring any fucking gloves. Anyways, yeah, just, right, like, all everybody really seems to be talking about, right, is, the Jays, right, and the Epstein files and whatever the hell else is on the news, which I don't watch because, who cares? I did care about that 3i whatever Atlas comment thing. Everyone was like, it's an alien spaceship. Oh, it's aliens. Or like, this is so fascinating. It's a sign of extraterrestrial life because it doesn't behave like normal comets. And it's... I think it's just part of a human subconscious desire, almost like for a savior. It's just like, just because one comet is different doesn't mean little green men made it. Alright? I'm pretty sure aliens, they wouldn't know about us already. And probably what happened is they took a look and they thought, fuck that, I ain't staying here, these apes are dumb, and they left. I wouldn't say entirely I blame them. Right. Like, the comet is going to pass out of the solar system soon. Or, not soon. I think it's gonna be passing by the Earth soon, but pretty soon it'll be out of the solar system. Nothing will change, nothing will happen, some weird comet, it doesn't behave like normal comets, sail through and then sail down, and that's the end of the story. Half the reason we're probably getting so excited is because we only have recently developed the technology to see comets like this one. Like, these things have probably been floating around for like 1 million years or whatever. Now, we didn't notice because we didn't have, the instruments to be able to track them, right? It's not like a big deal. I don't know why everyone makes a big deal out of it. And then there's that thing with like the microbes that NASA supposedly found on Mars, except retrieving them is probably going to take until 2028. And we might not last until 2028. There might be too much political pressure and the such, that, well, political and economical, political and economic, that we don't really bother with the missions. I mean, I think NASA's funding is getting slashed. Probably Elon Musk and SpaceX will go there and do it just for the prestige. Right. That's number A. Or option A. Right. Option B. It's like they're dead. Right. Everyone's like, it mean, dead microbes, dead aliens. Maybe it's a sign of like former life and shit. They're dead microbes. Yeah, there was once life on Mars, and now it's gone. Like, ooh, someone's pulling into their driveway, aren't they? I don't know. Just trying to pretend like I'm making a phone call. Like it's dead. Like the aliens are dead. You're not gonna magically bring them back to life or whatever. Like they're gone, they're toast. Like cool, it's evidence of a former civilization or whatever or something. It's I don't know. I think people are just looking for the next big thing to get them excited, get them curious, get them, I don't know, feeling something other than being neutered, or despair, or, well, for the ones who have won the genetic and socioeconomic lottery, they don't give a crap about any of this because they're enjoying life, partying and traveling and, living it up. These concerns are not relevant to them. They're actually doing stuff. Or depending on how you look at it, they're being pretty materialistic, hedonistic. But, I mean, that's literally what the whole culture is built around, so I don't suppose it matters that much. Right, for an example, I live in the Great White North. We have a lot of resources in the Great White North. For instance, the western provinces, right? Plenty of oil, gas that we could refine. I think we got rare earth minerals out there. We can mine those, right? Like we could set up a lot of industry over there. But again, partly environmental regulations, and I guess maybe just we've grown too dependent on Big Daddy America or something, or maybe there's just no interest in doing it. We haven't done shit. Like the resources are still sitting on the ground. And I mean, no offense to all the people complaining about, like, oh, we're going to ruin the earth. I'm pretty sure we are smart enough, with years and years of such pressure from eco-activists, that we have been able to, or that we can figure out technologies to, offset the whole carbon emissions thing. Right? Or, like, the fact that I think Ottawa's mobilizing 300,000 civil servants, as reservists. They want a reserve force of 400,000, but they know that the population doesn't give a crap. I mean, I don't even give a crap. And I, keep up with this stuff sometimes, right, about the defense forces. So they decide, let's go out to the office clerks, hand them a rifle, and, we'll figure out the rest later. Eventually, if a big war starts, they will end up conscripting your ass. They don't care. They'll probably come for the people, with less economic mobility first, because those people are the more desperate and don't really have much of a choice. And then they'll move up class by class by class. And of course, the elite class, like the wealthiest people with the most, connections. And I guess the ones who have won the genetic lottery the most-ish, I don't know, half those people feel like they're lizards or something. Like that Zuckerberg meme from, 6 years back or some shit. I think it was like some hearing and everyone was saying how he didn't look like a person. Right. Like at the end of the day, the purpose of the state is in theory to manage the population. The real function of the state, some guy just walked by, I don't care, seems to be to propagate itself and sacrifice the rest of us in the name of their own survival. Again, half the reason I think they're investing so heavily into all this AI stuff, all this, quantum computing, robots in every house, all this crap, again, it is not for the betterment of society. The top of the hierarchy has realized that the foundation of the hierarchy is collapsing out from underneath them. It's like, how should we say it? It's like we built a castle, and the foundations of the castle are, starting to sink into the ground. So what the top of the hierarchy has decided is best to do is they will remain on the upper floors, right? They will be the last to sink, right? The rest of us will just end up in the dirt. While they're also working on another castle, a new castle built on solid rock, which they themselves will flee to. Again, right? They don't really have to suffer any consequences. Their wealth, their political tentacles, right, protects them from any sort of, I guess, justice and the like. And so they will do as they please, right? And again, like I've said, I'm saying again way too much in this video, right? The masses, right? They will have their bread in circuses. They will have their distractions. They will not care. They will be divided, all the such. And by the time Skynet is running Terminators around the place to arrest people, the top of the hierarchy doesn't like, it will be too late. Now, I'm not saying this is true. I'm not saying this will necessarily happen. But a lot of countries right now, I feel like, especially the one where I'm in, like, there's a lot of, like, potential to do something and to create something to, like, actually advance and progress. Like at the space age, everyone was like, oh, we're going to go to the moon and the Mars, we're going to put bases on there, right? Like, I remember, like, the late 20th century and earlier 20th century, like, it wasn't necessarily, but I kind of felt like, all the technological advancements that mankind was making were blooming then. And now it's like the 2020s, and this is kind of the period where we stagnate and don't really do anything, right? Like, if you see, like, the new iPhones, or you see the new iPhones, they literally just added, like, one extra camera, like, per new model, and just decide to price that, I don't know, $1,500 because Apple. Like, the other day, this one teacher of mine was talking about this, I don't remember what it's called, some sort of, like, torsion bar or whatever. I don't think it was torsion, some kind of bar that he needed for, like, a golf cart. And because of the brand name, the bars they're selling online cost, I think, like $300. And if he goes and makes the bar himself with the equipment he has available, it'll only cost him $50, Like, I think right now is a time of, like, brand names. Like, brand names either have a monopoly on the market, or they're, like, just brand. It's getting really cold. Brand names either have a monopoly on the market, or they can charge as much as they want for basically a mediocre product, again, because the brand name. And the smaller brands are either obscure or end up swallowed up, or just kind of fizzle out of existence because, like, if another brand is cheaper and it's not domestic, might as well buy that. Now, I'm not trying to be all, like, redneck and stuff and be like, oh, we gotta kick, the foreigners out. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it doesn't really feel like there's a collective will to, like, really do anything other than keep the machines running, I guess. And I'm a little too cold, and I don't have enough, like, research to back it up, but we're going to run the machine into the ground. And the people running the machine in the ground are probably the same ones who are going to build up a new machine to totally benefit themselves, and we're going to be stuck with, like, rusted gears and, like, half-working pulleys. I don't know. I think the age of, how should I say? The age of any real enlightenment or progress or actually getting anything done is finished. This is now the age of whoever has power will consolidate more power, and the rest of us will serve. The future is most likely techno-feudalism. We are allowing it to happen. We will do nothing about it. There will be no critical mass. And yeah, even once, the new kings and queens decide to take up their positions at the crown, and most people will just shut up and just accept the new normal. Kind of feels like we're going into like a sort of like a Warhammer 40k kind of era. Just instead of being grimdark, it's like Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, where we use our pleasures and comforts to sedate us instead of worshiping a corpse emperor on a throne and all that. I can make a lot of analogies to that, but again, this is the first of my videos that I'm just gonna, not tagged to be solely Black Pill. This video might get banned. YouTube's all sensitive and stuff. I've tried to use, catch words and whatever, but we'll see how many views this gets. If this doesn't get a lot of views, I might just put the Black Pill tag on, because it won't make a difference, right? It doesn't make a difference, why bother? These videos are supposed to be for niche audience anyway, but I mean, again, hey, what do I care? I'm just an idiot talking about things I have half of a brain to, analyze. It's not like it's going to do anything for me. Anyways, my hand is numb and freezing off, so comment if you want, or I don't know, do whatever you want. I don't know what I'm saying, right? Who does?